Thank you for your butt. Hi, my name's Armida. This is me, and welcome to my channel. I like to have it be on record that my husband asked for the old intro. He liked it when I pointed out that this is me. Because it is me. For anyone new here, I am a cloudscape, cityscape artist. This is some of my work. And this week, we're finishing up a really big painting of mine. This is my 4th video of trying to work on this painting. So check out the other 3 videos if you want more context on this one. Welcome to another week in my life. In this video, we are for sure finishing this big painting. We're gonna finish the foreground. It's gonna happen. And I know it because today is Saturday and I've already done a considerable amount of work onto the painting this week. In my last video, I finished off the painting where the sky was completely finished and the foreground was just a nice color mixed void with 2 cars in it because I could not be bothered to paint anything else. But this week, we actually did start making some very monumental stuff to the foreground, and I'm going to explain it to you now. Here we go. Let's move. Welcome from over here on the other corner of the studio where I'm gonna go over the footage of what I already did this week. So starting off, I'd like to point out that this is the brush that I used for almost every day. This is the brush that I use because it's like long, thin, and angular, that I can get those like long straight lines. And so the very first thing that I did was do those really boring lines in the road that I could not be bothered to actually work on last week. I tried making sure that I used similar colors that I used for the sky, like the same pigments of the rainbow of colors, just to make it like cohesive and interesting, other than just like boring grays and stuff, like plain black mixed with white. Yep, I did all of the paved lines on the road, the other big chunks of like that really divide the top to the middle. And then day number 2, I started working on making those roads and stuff that I worked on the previous day pop. So I added more colors, more values to them. I added like some hand railings on the right side, and I started working on one of the railroad crossing signs. And this one really is like one of the big ones that comes with the big arm. So I decided to do that on day number 2. And day number 3, I decided to like really work on the stuff that was like in the distance on the left side of the canvas. But I was like, okay, let me work on the little tiny details that you see all the way back there, because I like to work left to right. I definitely did that with the sky. I started left to right. The stuff on like the right side of the foreground looked like a lot and like a little confusing, so I was like, you know what, let me finish up some of the details on the left side in order for the stuff on the right side not to seem so intimidating. So I did some of the little trees and the red light signs in the distance. And day number 4, I did finally start working on the stuff on the right side because there really wasn't too much that I could work on the left side anymore. So I kind of just mixed paint of what stuff that I saw with my eyes. It's like really hard to tell when it's like so dark and everything's like so far away. Even when I really messed with the values of the foreground like image, it was like hard to tell. So, oh yeah, all the way in the distance, another railroad sign, got another red stoplight thing. So just like all the way stuff in the details, because since this stuff is the furthest most away, it's like the darkest, so that's why it looks like it's basically black. The stuff that's all the way in the distance, it looks the most dark because it's closest to the actual sunset, so in comparison it looks the most dark. So yeah, and then that leads us up to yesterday. So that was yesterday. This is usually not how I do these weeks in my life. Usually it's like talk to you day by day. So wait, let me show you what it looks like now, even though you already saw that. So this is what she looks like now all together, and here I am standing next to her. I'm 5'2". This is my arm fully extended. This is how huge it is. This is why it's taking me 4 videos to finally be close enough to finish this. As you see from like the source image, I still have basically the whole big ol' railroad closure, do not come here thing basically, but all the stuff all the way back in the distance is pretty much much like, oh, that's a good amount. That's a good amount done. And, the cars up there in the front looking very nice, very shiny, reflective, as cars are. Yeah, stick around as each day by day from here on out, I'm gonna slowly chip away at it, and then we're gonna finish it. So one thing that did happen yesterday that I did not speak about in the recap was that I went to go drop off 2 paintings over at Brightside Studios. If you watched any of my previous vlogs, I basically mention them in every single vlog because it's like an ongoing thing. Brightside Studios is it's not open yet, but it's going to be like an open studio in Midtown Phoenix. I say it's Midtown Phoenix, where artists can pay a fee and to use the open studio, and there's a lot of art supplies there to buy or borrow, but it also has like a coffee shop and a bar and live music playing. It seems like it's gonna be a real lot of fun, and Brad from Brightside Studios reached out to me to buy some of my work to have up in the studio, to have like support local artists and have their work up in the studio, and to also be for sale for anyone else that wants to buy it that comes in. In a previous video, I did mention that they bought 2 of my paintings, basically like this level of painting. He bought one of those. It was titled Test Drive, and then another painting that was like a Haboob cloud that was like literally just a cloud painting, a little bit on the smaller side than this, of course, because this is huge. So they bought some of those paintings not too long ago, but he also wanted to buy more of my work, so he bought 2 of I call them my long boys. They're these like huge panoramic paintings that are 70 by 14 inches, oil on canvas. I always do oil on canvas, that I did in 2018/2019. So he bought both of those paintings, and they're also going to be hung up at Brightside Studios. So yesterday I went over and I dropped them off. I got to say goodbye to them. I'm very excited to see them hung up there at Brightside Studios. And I had coffee from the coffee bar. The place is not open yet. It opens the 22nd of February, which is coming up. And I got one of the very first cold brew coffees there. I even took a little footage of me being really excited about the cold brew coffee. So, it was just a good day. It was just a good day yesterday, making a big painting sale. Got to see the studio for the first time, sit with all the furniture and the supplies inside. When the last time I dropped off the paintings, it was mostly like into fruition, but like not all the furniture were there yet, and I got a little tour of the place, and it was great. Because I went over there and I dropped off the paintings, Brad wanted them before today, Saturday, because tonight is going to be the soft opening, and I was sort of invited. I'm not saying like I was like, hey, can I come? Like he was just like, yeah, you can come. So I mean, I feel like I helped. I was part of the process. I have now 4 paintings hung up in there, so that's really exciting. So I think in a little bit I'm gonna show you the soft opening. Okay, bye bye. Football! America. Yeah, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm gonna start working on this painting today, and then we're gonna go watch the big game, eat some good food. But first, let's do a little bit of painting. Woo! And it's finished! Woo! Again, round of applause for me for finishing this painting finally. It took quite a bit of time, but I'm sad to say that this is probably pretty normal for a painting of this size, because I've only ever painted like a painting this big one other time, and then that one it probably took just as much time, if maybe even more. She doesn't have a name just yet. I haven't thought of like some cool artsy name for her. And if you do look closely, a lot of like the city details aren't like too detailed, even though I keep saying like, oh, it's because all these details are making me take forever as opposed to like the sky. But with the city bits and the road and the cars and all the angular stuff, it just takes so much more time to make a straight line, just a straight line, than it is to make all these organic, colorful shapes in the sky. So I wouldn't say I'm like the most accurate, realistic cityscape artist. This is just what I paint. It's all about making the foreground and the realistic parts look realistic to, the human eye, in order for the sky to become like the focal point, the main interest of the painting. It's just, my whole job down here is just make it look decent, make it look realistic, like, oh yeah, that's a road. Not every little line up here on this metal thing has to be exactly right, like who's gonna go there and be like, oh, she messed up, oh, these lines are too close to each other or something. And so becoming an artist for these like cloudscapes and stuff, it's all about realizing how much work to put into the real stuff. It just has to look realistic, and usually just like a lot of color, all of the specific pigments that I mix together to make the grays like really sell it, I took some nice beautiful pictures of this baby in the morning sun today. Just all the colors that were hidden in like these grays just like really pop, and I think that's what really sells it. All the colors mixing together, but they're all sort of gray-ish, like really make it believable and realistic, because when you go out there on the street and you're driving, it's not all the same black and white gray, obviously. It's like all the light bouncing off of everything. I think that's where my cityscape stuff really stands out. It becomes like realistic, even though it's not like super detailed, is because I really take time mixing up like a ton of color colors to make these boring bits, you know? So yeah, here's another beautiful little masterpiece of mine. So yeah, thank you for watching the past few videos and watching me start and complete this painting. It's just a very realistic look at my life as an artist, and I generally hope you enjoyed it. I am a cloudscape, cityscape artist, so this is everything. So if you like this video and you like me and you like to see more of my work, then please hit the like button and subscribe to see the next painting that I start up next. And I'll see you next time. Okay, goodbye.